Have you ever felt that something inside you is sleeping? Not your body, not your mind, but something deeper, something ancient and powerful that you cannot explain. Maybe you felt it during a quiet night when your heart suddenly asked questions your mind could not answer. Or maybe you felt it during pain, when suffering forced you to look within and wonder if there's more to life than what your eyes can see. Throughout history, there have been hidden traditions that believe this feeling is not an illusion. They believed it is a call. Among these mysterious traditions, one stand quietly in the shadows of history, whispering secrets of transformation and spiritual awakening. That tradition is known as the Rosicrucian path. The Rosicrucian tradition teaches that every human being carries a hidden spiritual spark, but most people live and die without ever discovering it. Imagine carrying a treasure inside your chest your entire life while believing you are poor. This is how the Rosicrucians describe the human condition. They believe that life is not simply about survival, success, or comfort. They believe life is a journey of awakening, where a person slowly transforms their inner world until they begin to vibrate at a higher spiritual frequency. They describe this transformation as a sacred process, one that begins in the most vulnerable place within a human being, the heart. According to Rosicrucian teachings, there comes a moment in spiritual awakening when the heart becomes completely open. This moment is not comfortable. It is raw, exposed, and deeply emotional. It often happens after heartbreak, loss, or deep reflection. But within this vulnerability, something extraordinary begins to grow. The Rosicrucians describe this as a birth of unconditional love, not the love that depends on people, situations, or rewards, but a pure love that flows naturally from within. They say that when this love is born, it creates an invisible spiritual light symbolized as an etheric rose. This rose is not physical, but they believe its energy rises upward from the heart toward the center of the forehead, known as the third eye. They describe this journey of the rose light as a sacred inner pilgrimage. As this light reaches the center of the head, it enters a mystical space called the Cave of Brahma, a concept also found in Eastern spiritual traditions. This sacred space is believed to exist between the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. Ancient traditions have long believed these glands are connected to spiritual vision and higher perception. The Rosicrucians teach that when this inner cave is illuminated by spiritual light, a person begins to see reality differently. They may not see with their physical eyes, but they begin to understand hidden truths about life, destiny, and the unseen forces guiding human existence. However, the Rosicrucians do not believe spiritual awakening happens only through mystical experiences. They teach that true transformation requires discipline and inner work. One of their most important teachings focuses on developing the centers of will and action within the body. Similar ideas can be found in Chinese alchemy and Japanese philosophy, where the lower abdomen, often called the lower dantian, is believed to hold powerful life energy. The Rosicrucians teach that this center acts like a furnace where intention becomes reality. They believe that when a person strengthens their will and aligns it with spiritual purpose, their thoughts and intentions begin to influence the physical world. One of the most fascinating aspects of Rosicrucian teachings is the concept of inner alchemy. Many people think alchemy was simply about turning metal into gold, but Rosicrucians believe this was a symbolic teaching. They believed the real purpose of alchemy was to transform the human soul. Just as raw metal can be purified through fire, they believed human consciousness can be purified through experience, reflection, and spiritual practice. They taught that anger can be transformed into compassion, fear can be transformed into wisdom, and suffering can be transformed into spiritual strength. But this transformation does not happen automatically. The Rosicrucians emphasize two essential practices that form the foundation of their path. The first is self-observation. This means watching your thoughts, emotions, and actions throughout the day as if you are observing another person. Most people move through life on autopilot, reacting without awareness. But self-observation allows a person to see hidden patterns controlling their behavior. Imagine realizing that many of your fears, reactions, and decisions are not truly yours, but habits formed by past experiences. This realization can be shocking, but it is also liberating. The second foundation of their path is stability. The Rosicrucians believe that spiritual growth requires emotional and mental balance. They taught that uncontrolled thoughts create chaos within the mind, and unstable emotions create storms within the heart. They encourage practitioners to develop calm thinking, balanced emotions, and strong willpower. Rudolf Steiner, who expanded many Rosicrucian ideas, once said that the greatest explorer is not the one who travels the world, but the one who travels into the depths of their own heart. The Rosicrucians believe that when a person masters their inner world, they gain the power to transform their outer world. They also taught that certain qualities must be cultivated for spiritual awakening to occur. One of these qualities is positivity, but they did not mean forced happiness or ignoring problems. They meant the ability to search for meaning and growth within every experience, even painful ones. They believe positive thoughts create vibrations that attract higher spiritual energies. Another quality they emphasize is openness. They taught that truth cannot be understood from one perspective alone. They encourage seekers to look at life from multiple angles, just like walking around a sculpture to understand its full beauty. This openness allows the mind to break free from rigid beliefs and discover deeper wisdom. Another quality they value deeply is equanimity, which means remaining calm and balanced during both success and failure. Life constantly moves between joy and sorrow, gain and loss. The Rosicrucians believe that emotional stability allows spiritual energy to flow smoothly within a person. Without balance, they believe spiritual growth becomes unstable, like trying to build a house on shaking ground. One of their most powerful daily practices is known as the backward review. At the end of each day, practitioners mentally replay their day in reverse order, starting from the evening and moving back to the morning. This practice might sound simple, but it has deep psychological and spiritual effects. By reviewing the day backward, a person begins to notice patterns, hidden emotions, and moments of unconscious behavior. They may realize how certain events were connected in ways they did not notice before. The Rosicrucians believe this practice helps a person see how spiritual forces may guide life through coincidences and unexpected events. As practitioners progress further, they explore advanced techniques designed to transform knowledge into direct experience. One of these techniques involves absorbing spiritual teachings so deeply that they become living experiences instead of intellectual ideas. They believe true wisdom is not something memorized from books, but something felt and lived within the soul. Another advanced practice focuses on conscious interaction with cosmic energies. Instead of focusing only on physical breathing, practitioners learn to breathe with awareness of perception and understanding. They imagine inhaling the experiences of the external world and exhaling deeper spiritual insight about those experiences. Through this cycle, they believe a bridge is formed between the material and spiritual worlds, allowing them to perceive deeper meanings hidden within ordinary life. Ultimately, the Rosicrucian tradition teaches that humanity carries a sacred responsibility. They believed humans are not simply physical beings living in a material world. They believed humans are bridges between spirit and matter. They taught that by awakening inner consciousness, individuals contribute not only to their own growth, but to the spiritual evolution of the entire universe. Perhaps the most powerful idea within Rosicrucian philosophy is the belief that transformation is always possible. No matter how lost, broken, or disconnected a person feels, they believe there is always a hidden path leading back to inner awakening. They taught that every challenge, every heartbreak, and every moment of confusion can become a doorway to higher understanding if approached with awareness and courage. The Rosicrucians believe that spiritual awakening is not about escaping life, but about seeing life with new eyes. They believe that when a person awakens, they begin to see spirit within matter, meaning within chaos, and purpose within suffering. They taught that this awakening is not reserved for saints or monks, but is a possibility hidden within every human heart. And maybe, as you listen to these ancient teachings, something inside you is stirring. Maybe a quiet voice within you is asking questions you never dared to ask before. The Rosicrucians would say that this voice is not imagination. They would say it is a whisper of your own spiritual nature, patiently waiting for you to listen. Because according to their wisdom, the greatest mystery in existence is not hidden in secret temples or ancient books. The greatest mystery is hidden within you, waiting for the moment when you finally decide to look within and awaken the rose of light sleeping inside your own heart.